Hi, I'm Brian Cannone. Thank you for visiting fitnessatlantic.com. In this video, I like to talk about what successful people do as far as their workout, training program, getting ready for a contest. It's going to take a few different things. Number one, it starts off with your attitude. You have to act like you want to make the changes and not that you have to make them. A lot of people get into getting ready for a fitness show and they're starting their prep, and after a while, they lose some of the passion of why they're getting ready for it. And even some people with doing their first show, you know, you have to make that choice that there's a certain date of when you want to be ready for, and keeping yourself committed. It's always hard with attitude because there's a lot of things that come into play when it comes to getting ready for like a bodybuilding or a bikini pageant or anything like that, because you always wonder, you know, who are you going to be competing against, what the judges are going to be looking for, whether or not you're going to be in shape. You know, you have different things coming up within the time. You have to go to a wedding, you have to go on vacation, you have different things you want to do. People around you are eating foods, people around you are saying it's a waste of your time, or they don't understand what you're trying to accomplish. Keeping that attitude and the motivation and being inspired, and that's really going to be the number one factor is you being committed to stick it out. All right, so just remember that you make a choice to do it and try to have as much fun as you can with it in that way. Number two, I found is very hard part of this and this lifestyle that people have is you do have to cook, prepare, and carry your food. It's hard. That's very hard to do. You have to go to the grocery store. You have to buy your food. You have to prepare it ahead. Put it in the refrigerator. Watch the time. Know when your next meal is. Know when your next meal is. You get bored with it after a while. And that's hard. It's a tough thing to do, and it's really right up there with the attitude you have. You know, you get tired. It's like, oh geez, you have to keep doing this. What I've found is that most people, number three, they don't mind doing it. It's exercise on a regular basis. Most of the people that are doing contests, getting ready for shows and going from one to the next, they really love the working out part of it. The cardio is more of a drag. You know, they don't like walking on a treadmill for an hour. But the weight training, I found that most people just enjoy it. That's the part that they like the most. Number four would be, you know, goes back with your food choices. It's just learning all your food choices and preparing those foods correctly. It's really back up with number two. But when you learn food choices, I find that has a lot more to do with sticking to your plan, not cheating on your diet, not going off your diet, and knowing how to make successful choices when you're away from your home, away from the foods that you have, and you're going out to a restaurant, you're going to a party, you're out in the car and you don't have that food available. So it's really that part of making food choices would be that to stay consistent with your plan and not go off it. Which also has to do with number five. It's understanding your calorie intake, understanding how to reach that fitness goal that you have by making the right choices. And it's whether your calories are exactly the same day to day or they're changing, how to make the progress that you need to make. But really, I'd really like to say that it really has to do with number one and two. It's keeping the attitude to stay committed, and it's cooking your food, preparing your food, carrying all your food. Those are really, I'd say, the most important of what successful people do. They stay determined, they stay and they stick with this stuff, and it's keeping a good, healthy attitude about why you're doing it, remembering why you're doing it because you love it, and sticking to cooking your food, getting it ready, having someone help you do it if you need to. But those are the number two, you know, the one and two things of really success that people are going to see in fitness, in competitions, and changing their body. And these are the five, okay? But those are the two that I find are the hardest for me. All right, so I'm Brian Cannone. Thank you for visiting fitnessatlantic.com.